Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. So today I wanted to hop on the test server for a short little live stream. I wanted to test out Salaki, however you pronounce it, but I wanted to test out the new Maulers. Got a lot of feedback today about the Maulers, and overall it seemed most players were not too happy with the build. I know here with the life leech ability, a lot of people not too happy again with the life leech ability. Now, this is something that Lilith has actually stuck with us since the beginning of the Maulers, guys. We have seen this specific life leech ability on K-Sauce, which made them not very effective. We know it is also built into the Warrior Elder Tree with Salaki and how he is kind of built. Now, the big thing with this, guys, is with the ultimate ability, he does have haste. So he is going to carry some haste in here, which is pretty good. 7 seconds with a pretty decent increase for haste. In addition, guys, when you build them out, as you can see, ultimate ability permanently increases the ally's attack rating and life leech by 4 points. So not only are they getting a little bit of life leech out of this ability itself, but they're also pulling a little bit of additional life leech out of the bottom. Now, one thing to remember with this heroes, guys, is the life leech ability can be counteracted by shields, which is the reason why it's not very effective. The reason why we don't see K-Sauce used very much is because of the shielding aspect that we see within AFK Arena. It makes the life leech effect very inefficient because, again, if it's shielding, this does nothing, which kind of stinks. And I'm hoping that he's going to be used, I think, boss fights, things of that nature. Just, again, looking at his build, it seems like he's going to be pretty decent there. Excuse me, what I meant. Oh, Jeff, we just hopped on. I literally just hopped on. We've been streaming for about 1 minute, so you haven't really missed much of anything. What's going on, Lux? Want to do, again, a little bit of a test. Frightened Force Field, of course, it is going to be a shielding for the ally, which is good, but you can see there is also a little bit of a crowd control aspect in there, which is good as well. With the buffer with support, as we know, this crowd control in here, because Maulers lack crowd control. If you look over at all of the heroes, there isn't really very many heroes within the Mauler faction that have a solid crowd control. Titus we've seen, but overall not too impressed with it. Is that Loku? It looks like a bunch of symbols over here. Then, of course, guys, Withering Winds. Now, this is the one that most players were talking about. Upon entering battle, he casts the spell to unleash Withering Winds across the battlefield for 30 seconds. Now, this is where I think it's going to make a big difference when it comes to some of the comps, or even when it comes to heroes like Scarlet, Scarlet running in formations where burst or very, very fast 30-second damage is going to make a big difference. While it's in effect, all allied heroes take and deal 30% more damage. So all allied heroes take 30% more damage and 20% less damage respectively. So again, that's going to be kind of interesting to see. It's almost like a sacrifice between the damage they're doing. But then again, I'm thinking if you have a hero like Scarlet that ults very fast, that is going to do an incredible amount of damage in a very short amount of time, this is going to be completely ideal for situations where it's a very short boss fight. This could make a very, very big difference. Now, it does diminish over the next 30 seconds. You can see that they diminish to 0 within 10 seconds. While using, he is immune to crowd control. If he dies, it will disappear after 5 seconds. So unfortunately, for this ability to work, you do have to keep him alive, which again could be an issue that we're finding within here. Then, of course, guys, level 2, level 3 permanently increases damage caused by allied heroes by 1% for every second after Withering Winds has granted for 15 seconds, as long as they have not disappeared. I don't think they mean disappeared in this case. I think they mean die. So if the hero does die, it's going to go away. If they have not disappeared, I'm not sure if that means the wind or if it means the hero themselves. I think we have some translation issues possibly with this, which I know Lilith will look at. While Withering Winds are in effect, damage caused by enemies' normal attack is reduced by 20%. Now, that makes a really big difference because your heroes are going to be taking more damage. This is going to offset some of the attack damage that they're doing. Normal attacks reduced by 20%. And then you can see here, permanently reduces enemies' defense rating 1% every second after Withering Winds has been generated for 15 seconds. So this is not going to be immediate. This is going to start after 15 seconds because remember, this only lasts for 30 seconds, which means essentially the defense rating is going to go down 15%. But again, in burst fights, that could definitely make a difference. Do we think the new Mauler will actually finally be a decent support? The big thing about it, Lux, that I do not like with him is the life leech. That's kind of the part that I'm stuck is the life leech, guys, because we know how super inefficient life leech is as we sit today with the Maulers. So I don't know if it's going to make enough of an impact to really change this life leech ability. Combined with the haste, it could. And I think in boss comps where there's not shielding, this could make a big difference. Yeah, and that's it. I think he will be good. I think there's going to be different places for him. I think campaign formations, I don't think he's going to be effective. I think when you get to the campaign, when you start getting into level deficiencies, guys, it takes a very unique design and built hero to really work within campaign formations because, again, you get into the higher level deficiencies, which we're going to look at in just a minute. Then, of course, his final ability is Death Deferred. And what's going on, Pluto? Thanks for joining us for the late last-minute stream. So when he's alive, 25% of the direct damage received by allies will be taken in the form of lost health every 1 second. So that is going to be damage over time that your heroes are taking. Instead of taking a big direct damage, it's going to be a slow, which is good for healing aspects. I could see this even helping with some other healing heroes by chance. When skill is actively, Salaki assembles a dark flame and attacks the enemy who has dealt the most damage, which we've seen that before. Inflicting damage, I'm not worried about his damage, guys. Support heroes, if you're looking for damage, these are not really the ones. When dealing damage, he heals the allied hero with the lowest percent health, with the healing equal to 50% of the damage caused. And of course, that is a little bit of a heal, but then of course reduces the target's attack rating, which again deals with the survivability that we see, and then reduces delayed damage by 15%. If an enemy dies, all delayed damage is removed. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So if you kill the target, it's going to remove the damage in there. Oh, you're welcome, Greg. I love doing it. We finally get Mauler support. I know, Dark Lucifer. We've been waiting for it. I wanted to check him out. I wanted to test him. I know we did this before with the last hero. What's going on, Devin? We're just checking out kind of the skills and abilities with him right now. Overall, furniture, and I'm hoping it's not going to bug out again. Furniture doesn't seem like this is going to make a big difference. Honestly, it seems like the furniture is not going to be required, but the signature item is going to be, guys. Getting this shield value up as high as possible again is going to address some of the survivability issues that we have with heroes. Also, when it comes to boss fights, this again is going to allow us for the survivability. And then of course, the plus 30, the damage will be negated at the cost of 1 soul vessel. We've seen the soul vessels right above his head when we were in there. So this will actually negate some of the health loss, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I would say 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I want to check him out. A lot of people have said he is absolutely Savius. Savius's father or Savius's brother. If you guys don't remember Savius, guys, he looks the exact same. They went right back to the old school Pharaoh, which it looks very, very strong. But again, test server guys with this loading, we've seen this a lot. So a lot of players are having this issue with the loading. I'm having it over on the iPad, a couple other things that were having issues with the game loading, and they really need to fix the stability of the game because again, this makes a big difference. With it it literally buffers, so we have to exit out of it, exit out, and then it goes right back to working just like it normally would. Well, let's hop in, guys. Again, we did this with the last hero. I want to see formations. I want to see deficiencies in here. So if you have any comps that you want me to run with him, just let me know. Because again, I'm thinking right off the bat would be the Mauler Tower. So I'm going to go probably regular Mauler Tower, maybe about 150. So we actually start at 360 is where we start. So we'll go to 460 for 100. We'll go to 510 just to see kind of where he fits in. And again, about a 120 to 150 for the tower progression is pretty close. Yeah, I know that was my thought. Jeff, is if we got an ascended version of Savius, it must be kind of crazy. And yes, Dark Lucifer, that is what I think. I think he's going to be really, really a primary hero to build within the Mauler Tower because we don't have the support. When you look again at a support class in its entirety, we really don't have anyone in there short of Nemisu, and we know Nemisu is not super effective within there. So I'm hoping again that we're going to see him and have some utility within formations. Yeah, Savius back in the day, guys, would just rock everybody. It would literally just destroy everyone with Savius. So formations, again, he has shielding, he has life leech, he has healing. I can see him running hand in hand with like an awakened version of Brutus. Unfortunately, we don't have Brutus, and I thought about that again a little bit earlier. But again, I want to put out some of these heroes that are going to be like, I know Tai Li, and I think that the combination of all of them together, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see kind of how it looks like. We're going to slow it down a little bit. And again, we know Entendre and Screg are going right to the enemy side. Even deficiency, guys, we know Tai Li is going to be up. But there we go. So there is the Burning Flame. And it doesn't seem like, I don't know. I mean, he seems good, but remember, the life leech ability isn't going to be on there for him. So when you look at his healing itself, at 5.98, and then when you look at the healing of like a Tai Li or even like a Kren, that's the life leech ability that they're getting back. So that is really, I know Entendre does need time to scale. I was hoping that he could possibly give her a little bit of time to scale, but overall, the life leech ability, guys, if you're not dealing with targets that are shielded, it makes a really, really big difference. Because again, if you have shielded targets, like if you're fighting right here with Lucius, this is going to be tough. Because of those shields, the life leech will actually diminish to 0 within the formation, which again is going to be a little bit tough. How built does Moriel have to be in the Tailene comp? Moriel has to be built. The big thing with Moriel, J-Guy, is if you do not have Moriel built, she won't do the damage. So not only the moving, but it is the damage, and I believe it's her 9 of 9 furniture that does kind of the pulling of the star. But again, if you want Moriel to do damage, you have to build her out. With her being a mage, you do have to build her. So all right, so right here, so we know that might not work. Let's try Anasta. So we know Entendre doesn't have enough to kind of live in there. Let's try Anasta, and I want to try again with kind of different combinations. Because remember, guys, Brawler's protection, there is some mitigation for Anasta right here. And we do have the shield. Here comes the haste. So there's the ult, which means, guys, boom, haste goes crazy, life leech goes crazy, and that's kind of the combination we're looking for. But even here, guys, 50 million healing, 49.6 million healing from Anasta. But look at, I mean, 0 from Kren. You can see the difference. You can see the difference when they get through kind of with the life leech, and when they don't. Because remember, Kren last time healed, what, like 7 million damage? I think with Anasta, it was quite a bit higher. Again, that's the difference between life leech working and life leech essentially not working within formations. Let's go with Granite in here. Again, any formations, guys, that you want to see, we can put whatever heroes we have in here. I don't think a lot of the awakened ones we have, but overall, guys, anything you want to see, we will definitely throw it in here and test out a couple formations. A couple, like, I don't feel like the 5-pole would really work very well in here. Kren, of course, is just a monster. And that 7.63, guys, again, this is the life leech. Last battle, he had 0. This one, 7.6 million healing, which is crazy. Yeah, and that's it. So, Devin, my big thing with life leech is I wish it would work even if the enemy didn't take damage. That would be kind of the game changer. So if life leech went, let's say I hit a hero like Lucius that is shielded. Let's say I hit him for, whatever, 50,000 damage. If the life leech still triggered, even if he didn't take damage, if it still triggered that life leech, I think it would be pretty cool to see. But right now, guys, it doesn't. Well, I guess I'll E80 him. Oh, who are you talking about, Trisha? Let me know some formations, Trisha. What are you thinking? There has to be bottom tier. Yeah, there would definitely be a bottom tier. Does he do anything for the Witchers? Let's see. You know what? Let's drop in Yennefer. Let's drop in, where's Geralt? We have Geralt and Yennefer. I picked up a couple of players have both of those. With those, a lot of times we want to run Albedo. So Albedo, of course, within this formation, guys, is going to amplify the defense and the attack, the survivability of our Witcher heroes. So let's see what they do. Like I said, guys, anyone, we could even put mitigation in here like Merlin. Anyone you want to pop in here, what's going on, Moneymaker? We can see what they do. Witcher heroes, again, the combination Geralt with that 9 of 9 furniture and Yennefer is a pretty decent, it's a pretty good combination. I like the combination of both the Witcher heroes together. Again, I know overall they don't seem super effective, but I've seen, I believe it was Nero was running them in chapter 48 and actually doing incredibly well with the original, or with both of the Witcher heroes. So looking here again, it's the shielding. So that's kind of what the shielding aspect. So even Yennefer doing 0, it is the shielding aspect, but looking there, 3 million damage. Again, combinations with Lucius, combinations with shielding heroes, they're going to shut down the life leech ability, which is tough. Should I keep buying my time emblems every day? If I do, I'm going to be significantly fall behind on Stargazer with only a Mythic Mortis and Halos and a 1-star Lucretia. The big thing, Lux, is if you ever want to get the Awakened Heroes, if you're not buying those time emblems, essentially, this is the way that I look at it. And I know we've kind of talked about it before. The way that I look at it is you're pre-buying Stargazer cards. So if the time emblems were in the shop and Stargazer cards were in the shop, you could spend 500 diamonds to get a Stargazer card, or you could spend 500 diamonds to get a time emblem card. You're kind of pre-buying the time emblems in there, or pre-buying the summons with your 500 diamonds. So it depends if you want to build the Awakened Heroes. A lot of players don't build the Awakened Heroes. They'll build them overall just in time. Like Javid, completely free to play. I believe at this point he has 2 Ascended Awakened Heroes. It just takes time. It takes time. It takes summons. And eventually you'll get there, Lux. It just takes an incredible amount of time. All right, so let's try, if we're doing a Witcher team, let's try Einskamp minus Merlin. So Einskamp minus Merlin. So we want to see the Witcher and then the Einskamp minus Merlin. So we'll put Albedo in there. There we go. So we got, of course, the Einskamp, which minus Merlin, because we have to keep the hero in there. We'll see what it does. Like I said, we'll see. Yeah, and that's it. Basically, buy cards if you want the Awakened Heroes. If you're not buying the cards, you're going to be super limited to ever building the Awakened Heroes. The big thing, Lux, is as you continue through Faction Towers, you're going to get Stargazer cards. So you are going to get a significant amount of Stargazer cards as you're going through the towers. You will get time emblems as well, but Stargazer cards you're going to get out of there. So you really just have to pick and choose who you want to build, essentially with the diamonds. And look here, guys, 156 million. Ainz still absolutely doing his thing. Again, the healing overall, not super high, but it is the life leech. Try, what do we got? Backline, K-Sauce, Salaki, and a layer. Oh, you want to go all, we're doing K-Sauce, which if you guys remember, guys, this is K-Sauce, the little life leech monster. He also amplifies the life leech ability for Mauler heroes, which is pretty cool. So putting Alero in there. Who do we want front line in there? Do we have Alero? I don't have Alero. We don't have Alero. Yeah, Ainz just being broken. Ainz being Ainz. Test server, guys, we don't have all of the heroes, but again, He's going to bring Life Leech. He's going to amplify the Life Leech with Maulers. You know what? Let's put some Maulers in here that we really don't use anymore. Let's put Verk in here because we really don't use Verk. Drez we use. See, most of the other ones do see a little bit of play. But let's see, guys. So the 5 Maulers, super amplified, ramped up Life Leech. Again, there's the burn. Let's see what Sophia can do. Is she going to ult? I think she's going to get the ult off. Boom! Sophia takes it down. That is Sophia, guys. If you remember back with the Falling Sun ability, look at that. 122 million damage from that Falling Sun ability. She used to be kind of the end all. If she got a fully powered up Falling Sun ability, it would usually kill anybody it hit. Once upon a time when Sophia came out, she would just crush. She would crush anyone with that Falling Sun ability, which was pretty cool to see. But again, that was back in the day. Not only that, is she did make the backline hero stronger. So she does her little aura right here, which of course increases the attack rating. But let's take Little Trap Verk out of there. The Honesta, I like Granite up front. I like Brutus up front. I love the Awakened version of Brutus up front. Scrag up front. There's a lot of combinations in here. Do I think the attack buff is viable enough to use him in the Cursed Realm? Hills, I think so. I think he is going to be viable in the Cursed Realm. The big thing might not be so much the Life Leech ability, but he also does provide haste. Now, haste, in addition, he does kind of the sacrifice thing in the beginning where your heroes are going to take more damage, but they're also going to pump out more damage. So that's going to be another very, very interesting point that we're going to have to remember with the hero is he has the ability to not only buff the attack, but he's also going to provide haste when he ults, which again is going to be pretty interesting because if you can get kind of a fast haste cycle in there, could definitely be viable depending on the boss. Do I think he's going to be in a formation? Probably in at least one formation. I could see him in possibly 1 or 2 Cursed Realm formations. Again, just because of the viability. Even here, guys, look at Sophia 139. She gets a significant amount of not only the Life Leech, but she gets the haste. The haste is super, super important in here when you're looking at formations to really work. So frontline, Entendre and Drez, a new unit, Thisu and the Chicken. Let's bust it in here. So we have Entendre and Drez. So we got Ant and we got Drez. So I like the formation there. Thisu and Chicken. Now, a lot of players have been talking about Thisu working with the combination. Thisu and Ty Lee are the couple. I know I've gotten a ton of comments about those two in particular working within this Mauler formation, which, you know what? We could see a Mauler meta. We could see something work here with the Mauler heroes. And look at this. Again, Thisu puts out a lot of damage, guys, and he puts out a lot of damage very, very fast. You throw in some haste behind him, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, and that's it. So Dark Lucifer, again, I don't feel like he's going to be super effective when it comes to the campaign. When you start getting to higher level deficiencies, it does take a couple things. Now, he does have a cheat death, which again could go in there. But that went very smooth. That's it. That's what I'm thinking. Possibly the Mauler meta could be possible. Look at Drez, guys. And again, they're getting Life Leech, they're getting haste. But it's only when the ultimate ability is up, which is the reason, again, some of the RNG to not get the targets down. But again, he's amplifying the attack. He's amplifying some of the survivability. He's making the team do more damage. We could even see that same formation again with looking at Ty Lee instead of Thisu, which again, the Mauler meta could come out of this. We could see something with it. And of course, guys, heroes like Ty Lee, she boosts her own damage. And then if you can amplify the haste that she's doing, Right there's the burn. That's when they go crazy, guys. It's almost like a superconductor in there. And look at that. Just 106 million there from Drez. Again, Ty Lee doing, look, 24. Now remember, Thisu put out an incredible amount of a very, very high number out of there. Ty Lee didn't do anything near what we just seen from Thisu, which is pretty interesting. Can you try the 5-pull? Yeah, we can do the 5-pull in here. I think we have all of them. But again, looking at the damage that Ty Lee just did, and then looking at the damage that Thisu did. Now remember, Thisu does AoE damage, so he actually hits everybody on the battlefield. So the more targets that there are, the more damage essentially Thisu is going to do. Even there, almost 80 million damage. Yeah, Entendre is pretty strong. So Drez, specifically Drez Dark Lucifer, has a, when you get his 9 of 9 furniture, it amplifies his damage. And then when you put kind of more damage behind that, it is kind of crazy. Yeah, Ty Lee needs to scale, or Ty Lee needs to scale a little bit. Yeah, Drez is broken, guys. If you build out Drez does a lot of damage. Let me do the 5-pull. So the 5-pull, so we'll put in, let's do like old school 5-pull, like Iran Laika, and then we'll do Skarath in here. Who do we want as the other one? And I'm trying to think, let me see, do we still have Maulers in there? But let's do, so if we do Skarath in here, then I'm trying to think, because we could even do, so there's our 5-pull, that'll work. I want to keep him in the back because, again, we want to get him to ult. We could do Brutus in here to try to offset some of the damage. We could possibly do like a Granite in here that if he dies, we could actually get that together. And of course, there's the fake Alero. Even the crowd control. So there's the boost, guys. As soon as you see his flames, he kind of goes like, almost like supersonic, which is very cool. And then Alero, of course, we just got to take him down. Which is very cool. And then Alero, of course, we just got to take him down. Wait, does that mean he makes tanks? Kind of could. He could. Now remember, they're going to take more damage. Even there, guys, 144 million damage. Again, if we can get him to ult, if we can keep him alive in the beginning, it seems like he's going to be pretty strong. Got to go for the night. Oh, see you later, Lux. Have a good night. Again, we're just doing kind of a short stream here. I wanted to hop on. I wanted to test him out. Want to see kind of what he's all about. I kind of the impact of him is really it. Again, we did this before. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people have said, Spirit of Fates. So the ult is kind of like the twins. That's kind of the, so he's adding haste and he's adding life leech. So essentially, even a lot of players were saying in the chat earlier, he's kind of a cheaper build version of the twins, or possibly an updated version of the twins. Again, I think even if you put like him and the twins together, that could be just an absolute super broken cycle with haste. If you could get this to work, again, I'm thinking boss fights. So if we got something like this up for boss fights, and then, you know, having like a Baden in there, having a Grez in there, having someone who is going to amplify the damage, even Scarlet. Guys, if you put like Scarlet in here as a boss damage and you can keep these targets up, it would be kind of insane to see how much damage they could put out so very fast. So no res, what is going on? Working 2 jobs. Doing great tonight. I think everyone else, yeah, the haste buff is nice. We're checking out the new hero. Good to see you back in chat, brother. I know it's been a while. So even here, guys, because if, again, we can get the ultimate ability, Mishka provides a little bit of crowd control. But even there, guys, Scarlet has literally killed everybody before we got an ult. But there's double haste. So one thing that a lot of players were kind of talking about today, we don't know if the haste stacks. I'm assuming that the haste, yep, but twin stack that haste. Oh, that's what we don't know, Dark Lucifer, is if they do stack, if the haste is going to stack between these two. That we don't know. Again, that's a question that came up. Again, when I put out the test video earlier today, that was another question that came up was, is this going to stack for boss damage? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Again, wait for a lot of the testing that comes out. But if it does stack, if this haste between these two heroes is going to stack, it's gonna be pretty broken. It is going to be broken, guys, because they both have a considerable haste buff in there. So again, when it comes to damage, there's going to be a lot of heroes again that are going to put out an incredible amount of damage. If you double stack haste with a hero like Brutus, it's just gonna go through the roof. Damage will literally just be broken with the combinations like that. But it's cool to see. It's interesting to think. Even here, I don't think. Oh, we don't have Alna. I didn't think we had Alna. Let's drop like Buffer in here, and then let me try Grez. I'm wondering if these two maybe could be enough to kind of keep some of our team or support up. Just again, we get the clones up pretty quick. So there's the ult, and then boom, there's the haste, there's the life leech. And of course, Hodgkin is in there for some crowd control. Then there goes the haste on the twins. And I mean, pretty decent. Look at that, over 20 million. And again, that's the life leech, guys. The life leech. And I wonder if the clone gets the life leech as well. Even Hodgkin, 18 million, 12 million. Look at that. The lowest healer was 4.71 million. Yeah, that's my thought, Sono Rez, because again, in same Trisha, that's kind of what I thought. That is why I wanted to test it. That is why I wanted to see again where he's going to work out some formations, but it definitely could be a Mauler type meta that we could see out of here. That we could have again a couple heroes that it's going to work well with, that is going to get, you know, some pretty solid boosts in there. Of course, Anasta is going to have the Brawler's protection. And then boom, we have the haste. And here it comes. Salaki, boom, there's another haste. That's it. He even has the Terrify. So Salaki also has the crowd control in there as well. So again, that could be, look at it, almost 200 million. And I wonder even him running with Nevi, if that would be even viable again with formations. Just for the kind of the super cycles. So let's drop out Hodgkin. Let's drop in Nevi, which again, she is going to amplify the clone that Baden does with the plus 60 engraving. And this is just a crazy support team. Maybe not make tanks, but yeah, definitely Jeff could help tanks. And again, I think some heroes like Nevi will help tanks. I think he could definitely help tanks. Again, the shielding aspect and the survivability aspect. The problem is it's really tough because of the mitigation. But look at it, guys, 183 million. So even Nevi in there, again, it could be definitely an overkill. And again, their haste might not go together. We don't know that. We're going to have to wait to see the testing on this to see exactly where it would come in. Honestly, artifact wise, I would absolutely run him probably with the call, just for the simple fact that you're getting the haste and the life leech, Trisha, when he ults. So that is the time you're getting the haste. So he is going to be a hero that you're going to want to get to actually ult very, very fast. Because if you are not getting the ult, you're not going to get the haste. That brings the haste, that brings the life leech. Also, it brings the attack rating bonus as well. So you're going to want him to actually ult as fast as possible, just because of the haste buff. This streaming timing is, it's 3 a.m. Yeah, guys, this is a late stream for me. It's almost, it's 10:30 here. So it is a little bit late depending on where you are. But most of them we do at 1 p.m. So this is about, an 8-hour difference from my normal streaming time. So I know there are a lot of players that can't make the normal like Sunday stream because it's super late or it's super early. That's why I try to do one during the week. That way we could just kind of, chat a little bit and see some players that I usually don't see on our regular streams. Nimisu the same. Now Nimisu of course has the totems, but Nimisu is also going to give haste. So similar to like a Thisu, he's going to provide haste for Thisu. And then we're going to get more haste on top of that. So again, looking at like Granite, looking at the possibilities of combinations in here. And you can see there's all three of his little marks up here, which is the signature item. And the haste is right up on, I don't see Nimisu's haste. There's too many icons above all of these heroes. But there's the Petrify. And boom, that's what goes supersonic, guys. There's the haste when he pulls it out. So when he ults, kicks in Life Leech, kicks in haste, there is the damage. And of course, everybody is just frozen. And again, I think it is right there. I think there's a little piece right behind there. Unless, of course, again, if it does not stack the haste. We don't know. What's going on, Geeky? Thank you for joining us. He seems like he's doing pretty decent. Honestly, overall, I didn't know exactly how well he would perform or where we would really find kind of a niche for him. But he seems pretty good. 191 million damage from Thisu, of course, because the battle lasted so long. He seems pretty good. Cursed Realm, I think he's going to be used. We could possibly even see him in some of the, like the Twisted Realm, just being kind of a haste filler in there. Again, there's going to be a couple heroes. It seems like he's going to find a place. I really think, if you guys have any formations, guys, drop them in here. I'll build them out. Because I'm kind of thinking, even looking, and I'm thinking kind of the meta build. So even, you know, Lucretia in here, but again, Lucretia really requires everyone to die within the formation. I don't know, maybe the haste of the Charizard in there. You know, we've ran before like the Speedy Lizard, which used to be a pretty cool comp that we ran actually with Source a little bit. And I think it was, Tassie? I think it was Tassie, but the haste was the twins with the Speedy Lizard. Yeah, that's my thought, Sonorez, is it seems like the Mauler faction, especially the Mauler Tower, is going to get an absolute boost. Especially, guys, you put a hero like this, again, with a hero like the Awakened version of Brutus, that's going to be crazy. The Life Leech, the shielding, the crowd control, also the haste boost that you're throwing in there with a hero like Awakened Brutus. Mauler Tower, he's going to crush it. He is just going to absolutely crush it. Again, on Tundra, we kind of went with the evade team a little bit more. But you know what? Let's hop out of the Maulers. Let's see what we got in here. So we got Oku in here. This is a pretty good combination between double tank and then put some damage. Let's put like Orin in there maybe. And he's a hero, guys, I don't have built. But overall, going to be a lot of crowd control in here. And there, we have some crowd control right off the bat. And I'm also thinking with his crowd control, we could see him again in a couple pretty interesting formations. I could see, yeah, Alero left, guys. We actually got a new Mauler support, so Alero quit. I don't know if you got the memo. Alero actually quit because he no longer wanted to play AFK Arena, which is pretty funny. Mishka, Estrilda out front, Spearboy, and Rain in the back. Yeah, poor Alero. So Mishka and Estrilda. Estrilda, of course, guys, being built out is going to provide a huge attack and defense buff, which I love. Spearboy and Rain in the back. So, of course, Iran and then Rain, which, of course, is going to give us some shield, but also that damage amplification that we've seen before. Again, Orin just crushed Hazard right here in the back. And of course, Rain is amplifying damage, and Salaki is amplifying damage as well. Look at that, 166 million damage. Yeah, Olero just left. Yeah, Yeah, that's a pretty solid combo there, Trisha. And again, I know with Orin, the survivability aspect, you have to have a way to crowd control, such as Mishka, to get him to survive. He does have a little bit of an issue when you start getting into level deficiencies with survivability. But if you can keep him alive, he does some pretty hefty damage right there. And again, the shielding aspect, the life leech aspect. What's going on, Pika? Yeah, a little bit late. Again, I'm just doing kind of a shorter little live stream today just to kind of check out the new heroes so we can test him out, see kind of what he's all about. Salaki, Mahira, and Rosaline in the back. Let me see. So we want Mahira. I think I have Mahira on this account. We do. We have Mahira. And then we'll throw in, here we go. So we got Salaki, Mahira, Rosaline in the back row, Rowan, and Zolrath. Let's go with Zolrath and Rowan. Which we know this is replacing him with Khazard. Let's put Rowan up here. Let's see how it looks. And again, guys, I'll test whatever you guys want. I just wanted to kind of see there's the haste. The haste and the life leech, because remember, Mahira's getting the haste boost and Rosaline's also getting the haste boost. Plus, you can see him shielding, guys. I love his visual effects. That whole flaming, fiery kind of shield is really, really cool looking right there that they have. It's almost a flaming aura that they have. And boom, there we go, guys. And Granite comes down here to take out Khazard. Yeah, little bit slow on that one. 63, again, 57. Seems like we're going to need probably Khazard for the duration. He's probably still going to have to go in there. What's going on, Sienna? I just emailed you back. I don't know if you checked your email yet, but yeah, I just emailed you back a little bit ago. So let's see. So try Zolrath, Oku, Iran, and Nevi. Let me see. Oku, guys. Oku is another one that is a pretty solid tank. I know a lot of players don't have him built, but he is actually a pretty solid tank. He does pretty well in the PvP aspect as well. Oh, I think I left Rowan in there. Let me swap this for Zolrath. There's our Zolrath. And again, this is going to be cool because it delays the entrance coming in, which means that Orin, again, it just crushed. You've seen it right there, guys. Just absolutely crushed Khazard. And there, Orin gets a big haste buff. Then we have the healing branch, guys. The healing and the shielding going to make a big difference on this one. Boom, 171 million. He's putting out some serious damage, guys. Again, it seems like we're going to have some pretty viable formations with the new Mauler. Can you try the Portal Party? Now, Portal Party, if I'm remembering correctly, it is Oden, it is Pippa. Who else did we have? Was it Zolrath? Did we run Zolrath in the Portal Party? I'm trying to think who else was in here. I thought maybe Tassie. Again, it's been a long time since the Portal Party. I think that's about it. He's looking pretty good. Fadzi, he's seems pretty decent, pretty solid, honestly. Let me just run this one and we'll reset team one because I think it was Zolrath. Again, the Portal Party. I can't even remember last time that we ran the Portal Party. Let me see. So we got Oden, Pippa, Gorvo. That's right, it was Gorvo. But now we have to put, so who are we dropping out? Let's drop out maybe Namora. So Gorvo, of course it was Ninja Turtle back then because we didn't have Mishka. So Oden, Pippa. We'll try this one. Let's see what we get. The Portal Party just drops. Literally, Gorvo went to go jump. And there we go, guys. The haste, of course, is going to be monster with Oden. Just because of his sheer damage, guys. And Pip is just portal partying everyone everywhere. That's pretty funny. Gorvo went to jump. 172 million. So similar to Orin. And look at this at the very beginning, guys. He goes to jump. Nope. He just got portal partied and then he jumped. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I like his look. It looks pretty the overall look. You can even see, guys, like the burning down here. He's got a really, really awesome Mauler look. Probably a very cool, especially when he ults, guys, the flames that come up. That is such a very cool animation effect. I like how he's built. I'm liking how he's working here. Again, it seems like we're going to have some viable Maulers. But looking at the ones that we've gotten lately, so looking at like Anasta, looking at, you know, the Awakened version of Brutus, we've gotten some pretty strong Maulers. I can see it definitely running with like Kren. Kren, again, you put support behind Kren, you add in the life leech, you add in the haste. It's going to be a no-brainer at that point to really, the viability of some of these heroes. It's going to work well. It is going to work well. And yes, guys, look at his effects. Even the battlefield effects. Really, really sharp, clean effects, guys. The flame burning, the flame shields look awesome in here as well. And of course, we have K-Sauce in here. Might see a meta with our boy K-Sauce. But as much as I like him, he still doesn't do really any damage. Look at that, 36 as a warrior. His damage is still super low. Yeah, Brutus, Anasta, both meta, guys, and I think this support definitely going to be meta. That would be Sono Res. I absolutely agree with you. I feel like we're going to see some solid formations coming out of him, just like we've seen with Nevi. I think there's going to be a few decent, a few pretty solid. Yeah, they've needed him for years. Dark Lucifer, absolutely. We've needed Mauler support. Nemitsu has actually carried this faction for 3+ years at this point. And with his totems, they never changed him. He's literally just been so tired of carrying the entire faction. And again, like Titus does a lot of crowd control. But again, he's one of the very, very few heroes in here that have the crowd control. So pretty cool to see. I'm pretty impressed to see, again, exactly how he works. And Titus pushing heroes back. Sophia in here, and there goes the life leech and the haste. It's pretty cool to see. I like it. Dali's dialogue, since yes, I seen it. I checked it out. I seen it over on Reddit when I got home geeky. Yeah, there's new. I'll show you the dialogue. We can hop over here and I'll show you the dialogue. If this thing, again, test server, guys, this has been doing this. I don't know what they broke, but literally it gets stuck on this loading page, and it doesn't come off the loading page. So you actually have to escape out of it. But Feast of Honor is up. This actually came up just a little bit ago today. But looking here at Dali, I seen this a little bit earlier. So there's rate. There is still no end to the disaster, and many are hoping this great warrior can protect everybody, but some are spected. I can't even say the word. I'm not even going to try. But again, it seems like it's going to be a warrior. It seems like it is going to be possibly a light bearer warrior. So again, looking at the way speculative, that's the word. Again, with the loading. But it seems like since we just got a Mauler, you know, we just got some of our, which could be a Graveborn, but I think if they went the undead route with the Graveborn, or if they went the version like another, it could be another version. It could be a warrior. So Lightbearers could see a warrior, or it could be something out of left field. Geeky, it could be, because I know we just got Kanisa. I'm trying to think kind of who would be next in line, because I know we got Tardos, and I don't think they would do another warrior for a Celestial hero. And then again, we just got Kanisa. So light bears are kind of in line. Sonya, it's been a little bit since we got, and then of course we just got the new. We got Nevi out of there. Then we got the awakened version of Baden. But Kayleen was a little bit ago. So it's going to be light bear, or it's going to be Mauler, or excuse me, it's going to be Graveborn. Light bear or Graveborn. I think it's probably going to be a light bear. Just looking because Sonya, it's been a little bit. It has been a little bit, since we got Sonya. To build them out. Another cool feature, guys, quality of life. They did this. You can actually sort your heroes now by different things, which I love. I think this has been needed forever to actually be able to sort your heroes not by stars, but actually by strength, by their rating, by their tier. Very, very cool to see that simple of an update is awesome. It's very cool to see. Yeah, I think Light Bear Warrior would be the way that I'm going. Not related to the stream, but do you think AFK is now making collab units non-meta niche on purpose because of Irons? Not really, Spirit of Fate. I would say I would say no. And the big thing is when you look at Irons and Albedo, guys, Irons and Albedo were not the only two absolutely broken heroes. A lot of the meta heroes we got have the dimensional heroes were pretty solid. I mean, Joker Queen, when they came out, they were really good. Irons and Albedo came out, they were really good. And then, of course, now seeing the Yennefer and Geralt, they have a place with the crowd control aspect. I feel like they could have done a little bit more. And it seemed like the collaboration between these two was almost kind of at a bad timing with all the bad PR that The Witcher's getting with, the actual Henry Cavill leaving The Witcher, not liking the story. It didn't seem like it had an impact that they wanted from the collaboration. I love Yennefer. I think she's a really cool hero. But overall, I think they could have definitely stepped up Geralt a bit. Even the character design, I know that's kind of true to The Witcher, but I feel like they could have made him a little better short of the crowd control that he has. They could have definitely done, Queen's still good, just used in a couple crowd control formations. Joker, I don't know. I mean, some heroes like Joker you can use, but overall, do you have to use him? Is he going to be the best? Probably not in a majority of times. I'm up by 2 lab coins for Yennefer. Just did my... Oh, you just did the last... Is it the last run? You were short on the lab coins, Kraken? Is that what you're saying? Of the 2 lab runs for Yennefer, did it? Yeah, that sucks. That sucks if you're short. I was short on my Graveborn account for Joan. The Graveborn account for Joan of Arc was the only time that I've missed a dimensional hero. And we missed Joan of Arc, which I know you can get her on the lab, but I missed her on that Graveborn account. Yeah, if they did another collab, I have a feeling they're looking for ideal timing. Yeah, that was my thought, Geeky. It seemed like it was kind of a weird time with the Witcher collaboration and kind of how it all came together. It didn't seem as smooth as like the Irons and Albedo. Didn't seem ramped up as much as we've seen in the past, which again is interesting to see. But guys, overall, pretty cool to test out the new hero. It seems like, and I love his character model. It is such a very, very cool looking character model. Even the story, guys, it is really, really cool looking. I think he's going to be in meta. I think he's going to make an impact. Mauler Tower, he is going to be an absolute, he's going to be an absolute priority build for the Mauler Tower, of course. Cursed Realm, he's probably going to be used just for the sheer aspect of the haste and the attack rating boost. Life Leech, of course, is probably not going to make a big difference, but the haste that he is putting out is going to make a difference in a couple different formations. Is there a formation involving Queen, Albedo, and Yennefer? Could run it. The thing is, the crowd control and the damage, even in that formation, Queen doesn't seem to really work very many places outside of the crowd control, Noah, which kind of stinks at this point. Yeah, what do I think about Kraktos? I would love to see a couple collaborations. There's a few that I feel like some of the bigger name game titles would be pretty cool to see. Next year I think there are going to be some more collabs. They set a minimum of 1 this year, so we did get the Witcher collab, so they already knew. But again, we're going to have to wait and see exactly what is coming up pretty soon. And we possibly could have a Lightbearer Warrior. God of War collaboration would be pretty cool. DMC would be as well. Is it good to buy the current dimensional characters, or can it be passed? So the big thing with Yennefer and Geralt, guys, is if you're buying them for resources, now is the time to get them. You know, we have heroes like Queen, for instance, and she is kind of the perfect example, guys. When Queen was released, she was released as the weaker of the two. She really never found a place until it kind of clicked with the 5-pull with Iran, and that whole combination. So even though when she was released, when she came out, when we did, you know, the exchange or the redemption for her, she wasn't used anywhere. She was actually a hero that a lot of players did pass. Then months and months down the road, she made it into formations, and now she is in meta, and now she is in a lot of meta formations. So if you can get the dimensional heroes, if you can get Geralt and Yennefer, you might not use them today, but there might be a place in the future that they're used. Other thing with Geralt, guys, is if you're getting him, he is a monster in PvP. When you're fighting Graveborn heroes, when you're fighting Hypogean heroes, even looking at the Treasure Scramble, looking at PvP, he is a monster in PvP because he holds really the two things. One, he does a super strong crowd control, which is right here with his furniture. This crowd control is strong, guys. It is very, very strong, which is the reason why a lot of players are building him, is the crowd control aspect. And of course, guys, when you look at level deficiencies, it's an entire different game than if you're looking at a PvP aspect where the heroes are the same level. Characters will perform at an entirely different stage depending on the level deficiencies. But yeah, absolutely, guys, because if you're looking at Garrison and the heroes, so if you go through the actual players, the friends list with the Garrison, to Garrison heroes is very expensive. If you're garrisoning heroes again and again, if you're buying up these dimensional stones, the exchange, you have to do this 6 times with your resources, guys. The sheer cost of garrison these heroes 6 times is huge in comparison to just buying them. Now, one of the big things is we know there was a lot of chatter about a pay-to-win kind of addition that was in here. Lilith took it away right here. Melodoc's gift event has closed after recent feedback. There was a gift event where you could take your resources and swap them for other things randomly. So it was kind of a slot machine type thing. It popped up for a very short time, and then of course it literally was taken down the same day that it popped up. So this event has been closed. If you haven't seen, they're going to rework some of it. They're going to fix some of it. The optimization for it, it's broke. So if you've seen anything, I know there's quite a bit over on Reddit about it. I didn't cover it because it was up, it was broken, it was down, and now we're going to have to see exactly when this comes back up with this kind of gift exchange that they had going on, which again, it didn't work as they intended it. So they actually did pull it down as soon as it went up. All right, guys, so that'll do it for our late night live stream here. I got a little bit more time today just because I don't have to work tomorrow. So have a lot of plans tomorrow with the kids, got doctors, got dentists, got a lot of stuff going on. So again, guys, that'll do it for today's stream. Definitely wanted to cover the new heroes, guys. Wanted to test him out, see what he was all about. So again, thank you for joining me for the late night, last minute stream. Guys, go get some rest, go get some sleep, depending where you're at. Good to see them actually using feedbacks. Yes. Yeah, the feedback was this is broken. They pulled it down immediately. And one thing, guys, Lilith usually does that. They're very, very cognizant of what players say, and they do follow it. They do follow it quite a bit. Even when there's stuff on Reddit and Discord, they do kind of follow it. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for the live stream. Have a good night. And as always, thank you guys for watching.